What's up everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to find all the pale oils in the game, which are required to upgrade your needle. There are a total of 4 upgrades that you can do, one of them being free and the other 3 requiring a pale oil. Upgrading your needle is one of the most important things that you have to do, as it will increase your damage, lowering the number of hits that it takes to defeat enemies, making encounters much easier. So just to be thorough, your first upgrade, which is free, comes after you defeat Widow above Bellheart. This is a mandatory boss that you need to beat to save the ensnared citizens of Bellheart, which includes the Pinmaster who upgrades the needle. Once you save the town, you can speak to him and he will upgrade your needle for free, as well as give you a quest to find a pale oil for another upgrade. So the first pale oil that you can acquire can be found in the Whispering Vaults at this location right here. To reach the vaults, you will need to make your way through the Cogware Core. This is that area that you unlock after you defeat the Cogware dancers in the Choral chambers. Once you make your way through the Whispering Vaults, you will reach a room with a large number of boxes on rails that you can hit to create a path to the pale oil. For the second pale oil, you will need to find an NPC called Loyal Mergwin in the Choral chambers. Once you reach Loyal Mergwin, he will give you a quest called the Great Taste of Pharloom. The quest involves finding 5 exotic ingredients that are found throughout Pharloom. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail here because I do have a separate video that walks you through each step of the quest, so check that out in the description below. But just to give you an idea, to complete this quest you will need both the clawline and double jump abilities. The first item, the crust net, is found in the sands of Karak, a desert area above the blasted steppes. The mossberry stew is obtained from the moss druid NPC in Mossholm. The pickle muck maggot is dropped by disgraced Chef Lugoli, a boss in the Sinner's Road area. The vintage nectar is purchased from Crage, the NPC that manages the halfway home in the center of Greymore. And finally, for the courier's rasher, you will need to complete the quest My Missing Courier and My Missing Brother quest to save the courier brothers Tip and Pill. Both quests are acquired from the wishboard in Bellheart, and once you save them, they will give you the courier rashers. This quest involves delivering the rashers to Loyal Mergwin in the Choral chambers under a time limit. Now the last pale oil in the game is only obtainable if you reach Act 3, which I recommend everyone does so they can fully explore Pharloom and get what many consider the true ending of Silksong. If you're not sure how to unlock Act 3, I have another video that walks you through that, so check it out in the description below. So to get this final oil, you will need to pick up a quest called Ecstasy of the End. However, this quest will only become available once you have collected all 30 Lost Fleas in the game. So if you get to Act 3, you should be pretty close to getting them if you haven't done so already, since unlocking Act 3 requires that you have found around 25 of the fleas. Once you collect all the fleas, speak to the Flea Master in Fleetopia and he will give you the Egg of the Flealia, a tool, as your reward. Now the Ecstasy of the End quest should become available in the Bellheart wishboard. I'm not sure how long you have to wait for it to appear there, but in my playthrough I didn't see it pop up. However, I was able to pick it up by returning to Fleetopia and picking it up directly from the Flea Master. Once you speak to the Flea Master, the Festival of the Flea will begin. During the festival, your goal is to play the 3 minigames that are available, and you must beat the high score for each one. The 3 games are the Flea Juggle, the Flea Dodge, and the Flea Bounce. To check what the high score is for each game, you can look at the scoreboard near VOG. So first up is the Flea Juggle. You're gonna need to beat Grishkin's high score of 30. Just head over and talk to the Flea Master to get started. Once the game begins, Hornet jumps onto the stage and fleas start coming at you from both sides, falling in an arc. What you want to do here is hit the falling fleas from any direction, just not from above, and that'll juggle them back into the air. Now it starts easy with just 1 flea, but it slowly ramps up to 4 fleas at once after a few waves, so it can get hectic pretty fast. I recommend that you try and get ahead of the falling fleas and try to hit them all in the same direction. You don't want to be running from one side of the arena to the other trying to catch the falling fleas. If you let 3 of the fleas hit the ground, you will fail and the game will end and you will have to start over again. Next up we have the Flea Dodge, and you're trying to beat VOG's high score of 65 on this one. Talk to VOG to get started. Hornet spawns on one of these platforms above him, and then fleas just start flying at you from every direction. Horizontal, vertical, and diagonal. Then fleas will be trying to knock you off, so you have to do everything you can to stay on the platforms. And just to keep you on your toes, the platforms will randomly raise, lower, or straight up disappear. The game will end if you hit the ground or jump too far to the sides. So here are some tips that really helped me. You want to be super careful with the needle bounce or the double jump because they're literally the only way to get your height back once you get knocked down. Try to keep your movement to a minimum and only jump when you absolutely have to. If you do end up getting knocked away from the platforms, use the claw line to sit back up without losing height. Now there is a wave that involves the huge flea. The flea will fly across the arena, breaking the platforms that you're standing on. What you want to do here is wait until the very last second, then double jump and glide in the air while the new platforms appear. And finally, we got Flea Bounce, where you're beating another one of VOG's high scores, but this time it's only 42. Talk to Krat, who's near the lake, to start this one. Hornet will get on a floating raft and fleas will start flying across the arena from both sides. Your goal here is to pogo bounce off the fleas and try to stay in the air as long as possible. The fleas will start coming faster and faster, so your timing will really need to be tight. This game ends as soon as you land on the platform, touch the water, or jump too far to the sides. So basically you need to stay in the air the whole time bouncing off fleas to keep yourself up and rack up points. Once you have obtained the high score for each game, you will become the champion of the festival. For your reward, you will get to break a big flea piñata. Each time you strike the piñata, rosaries will come out, and on the very last hit, the pale oil will finally drop. There you guys have it. With all the pale oils acquired, you will be able to upgrade your needle to the Palesteel Needle, which does a whopping 21 points of damage. Leave a comment below if you guys found this video helpful or if you have any questions. Also, it would really help me out if you guys subscribe to the channel. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.